Recording it, Nate.
There you go. Thanks for telling me that because I thought I pushed record.
I just happened to notice. That's why I asked, just for
Yeah,
clarification,
it
because
may have just been like, yeah, so I'm forgetting. It's no big deal. All right, just so everybody knows, we're April 9th, so we are recording now.
um but yeah, so just working on deals, getting deals across the finish line. And actually I found another good connection with someone that's newer, but seems to really know what they're doing when it comes to getting buyers connected to contracts. And um part of that third place was $2,500 worth of leads. So yeah, excited about that. But yeah, I mean, things are going well overall. And oh, and then someone that I was in another uh real estate group with, who's very experienced and actually used to be one of the trainers for Rich Wonders, the Novation King. He actually wants to come to work for me because he just wants structure and a defined lane, and he wants me to basically manage. He's really good at just talking to sellers and closing them, and I'm going to
Yeah,
manage everything else. So I got myself a an experienced closer that I don't have to manage. And as I tell them, I said I just really view our relationship as you're working your business inside my business. I'm providing CRM structure and leads. So
that's a good thing. Yeah, cool.
yeah.
And then, of course, we've been obviously having our discussions about a certain individual who built the scraper. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
We won't say a name
yeah,
aloud.
I will. After I talk to Curtis, I'm going to give you guys a kind of a presentation on RCIC capabilities, and then I'm going to talk about the what I sent. I sent a few people. Nobody really has. Maybe some of you saw my Facebook page post, but we got something cooking that's going to be pretty impressive. That's going to be like everybody's going to be like, "Holy crap, what we can do with." And I had to build it in Claude because ChatGPT wants all this. I mean, I should the pushback it's given me on some of this stuff that I built in Claude. I'll tell you about it later after I get to Curtis. But yeah, cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Nate.
And no problem. Hey, Curtis, what's going on? You're doing a lot of building. You keep telling me you're up for to
I've
22
been
hours.
building for quite a few months now. It seems like the more I build, the less I sleep. And the less I sleep, the more I build, or I don't know exactly. The other night, I was up 22 and a half hours. And I'm getting very close to a completion point, a full stop completion point of my project. And it's something that will apply to RCIC and real estate, but it will also go to other areas too. And by no means did I set out to do anything like this at all. As one thing leads to another, it leads to another. And I'll just leave it at that. But what I've learned is mostly how to deal with AI and ChatGPT, Claude, with even Copilot. And the one of the things that I ran into is my own bad habits, and it really, really bit me hard, cost me a lot of time. And I'll just offer a couple of tidbits real briefly that I've learned that maybe someone else won't have the pain that I did. But when you disconnect chats, you're going along in chats or even projects, when you disconnect them in any way, the underlying model becomes very stupid again. It does not have context or is no way to connect one chat to another. And you have to provide the context. So it really bit me hard because, I mean, I feel so kind of dumb saying it out in public, but yesterday I thought I was done with my project and I instructed to draft an application because I'm going to apply for a patent. And the I thought, okay, well, it's working and working and working, and 1 hour led to another, which led to 20 hours. And I thought, wow, I really made something so complicated that it's taking Chat GPT 20 hours to compile it. Well, this morning I said, I asked it to give me a progress report, and it said, what report? It's like, oh my goodness, I waited 20 hours for nothing. And it's because I had disconnected it from the source. And so, make a long story short, it suggested to me, and I'm going to pass this on to everybody, is that when you have created a thread of information that you want to carry forward to other threads, have GPT or whatever your AI of choice is, compile it, index it, produce it into a PDF document that is transportable from thread to thread or project to project. So you bring along your entire library in a PDF that it can reference to and be smart again. And it's very simple. It does all the work for you. All you have to do is carry it like a little briefcase from place to place, wherever you go. And now you're connected no matter what. Um,
That's why I
it's,
save all my PDFs. Yeah, I save everything to PDFs. It's important.
yeah.
Just like
And
I
you
have to.
can have it separated into two categories. If you have a long thread that you want to segregate out, you can have what I did. I had like a 2 month long thread that had so many different convoluted topics involved that it was producing gibberish almost. So I had it go through the threads, and actually what I did was copy and paste them and post it into a thread and have it divide each topic. Let's say there's six topics that are important to you to segregate out and organize. It's like just have one topic that per one document per topic, and then each topic have a an active or whatever you want to designate that's important to you for whatever project you're doing, and then a legacy file, which is more for history or old ideas that led up to that project and where you're at, but it's more for historical reference or just to file away, But that's what I did to the divided things into 6 topics. Each topic has 2 PDF files, one that I'm compiling now for the final application process, and the other is more just legacy. So
Have you,
it's
have you thought about starting your GPT then? Because you could put all those PDFs, like I showed how I got them all in R6 GPT in the PDF. And
well, I don't want to generally inform the whole thing. This is more specific, like a project.
well, no,
So I
no,
want
because you don't. Yeah, because you're not. You can't. Nobody can see it. It's still safe. You
no,
have to.
no, it's not. I'm not worried about that. It's
I'm
just
just saying because it can. You can put all the instructions and because think about how much stuff I've had to upload from my databases and my library over the years into it, and that's why it maintains everything, it remembers everything because I put all that in there. I'm just saying at some point that may be something you want to think about. It's
well, when you demonstrated your infrastructure, which we're not privy to, other except when we view your screen and you expose it, you have a place there where you have a lot of like a PDF document,
where
almost like a library.
you can upload 20 items. I mean, I can show everybody tonight.
Yeah,
But I
and
mean, if
20.
anybody wants to do a GPT, let me know and I can help people. I can sit there and walk you through it,
Yeah, my question is, Nate, when you uploaded those 20 at that level, doesn't it inform your entire GPT how it functions?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and that's what I don't want to do that. I want to segregate the if I want to start fresh on a new project or a new GPT, I don't want to inform
well,
by
you can
any.
ask me how to do that. I didn't do that. I think you can do that. I just haven't done that, what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So
I'm still wrestling with my inexperience, and it is something where I realized that you can have too much respect for GPT, the power of it, because you assume it's so powerful it's going to do something that it cannot possibly do. So you can't check your brain at the door. You have to try to at least keep up with the the way that the infrastructure is created for us to use. Those tools are powerful, but they can also become very weak too. And usually,
Yeah.
for me, it's been at the wrong time.
Yeah, let's get what it can do. What's the solution of it? Because I'll explain it a little bit when I talk about what I've been building this week with Claude.
Yeah. So my experience has driven me kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm back on. I'm breathing air again.
So anybody that wants to do GPT, let me know, and I'll help everybody set theirs up because that does help. And people who haven't done it yet, the only people that ever can actually see your GPT or get anything from it, you have to give them a link, just like I give you guys the Bitleys. Other than unless you put it in the GPT store, that's the only time, and it has to be accepted by them in the GPT store, and then everybody can get it. But I have one thing in the GPT store. I put that Murdoch in GPT store because it's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, cool. Appreciate it, Curtis.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll underwriting update. I know Tanya. So we'll get Tanya in, and then I will do my presentation. What's going on? How are you?
Hello, hang on, I'm looking for my camera here.
Oh, that's fine. So, anything new this week?
No, in a nutshell, I want to be where Eric is, and and I like listening to your stories, Curtis. Just so you're ahead of me, so I can hear.
I need to I need to talk to Eric and see if I can get him on or get everybody in the call. Because he's got it's unbelievable what he's doing with it, and I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet. He tells me it's gonna blow my mind, and I'm like, I want to see it because he rocked and rolled with the skip tracing prompt, and it's awesome. I mean, it's incredible if people are able to do that.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It would be nice.
Cool.
To donate an hour of his time.
And then last night, of course, that kind of was cool. I figured out that one in Jefferson County, the one at the second property. I talked about that with somebody today that finding out that they lived in Oregon now. Because I went back and looked today, and actually, I was able to find some more information on those people from Oregon, which just helps if somebody has to skip trace. So it's kind of a cool thing.
Cool.
So what we did last night. Cool. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yep. I'm going to do a real quick presentation. Then I'm going to talk about RCICsystems.com, which will be live on Sunday. Everybody will like it.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let me pull up my little thing for everybody. Make sure that you guys, it kind of goes that everybody kind of knows it's saying if for some reason, just hit me up if you can't, if it goes away. Like if sometimes when I move it around, I'm not going to do that as much tonight, but when I move things around, I might, if you guys can't see it, if I lose the screen and share screen, just let me know so I can come back and fix it. So we're going to talk a little bit about capabilities, and I'm going to update everybody on RCI systems and why I built them in Claude and stuff instead of GPT. So frame the room. So tonight we're going to, so this is not a demo. This is pretty much how RCI is building an ecosystem. So we're not doing hacks. Everything in RCIC is basically infrastructure instead of hacks. So we want everybody to have a lasting, build your business, build your infrastructure, build your income, cash flow, and wealth, and not have to worry about like, hey, these are little hacks. I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of seem like hacks, but I want people to have like permanence. I don't want people to be like, we're not cheating the systems. Like we're not going through paywalls. Because I've joked that I actually went through, and I did. I actually went on Crexy and I did the copy and paste with my mouse, like the mouse thing went over it. And I put in RCIC, and it read through the shaded part, which you have to pay for. It's a paywall, but it's shaded. You can't see anything. You can see there's words there, but you can't see what they are. Well, guess what? It read it. And so I can show people that would be a hack, but it's like you can get enough information without having to do that. That's the beauty of this. So it's a tool. You guys want to look at it as an operating system. It's not a CRM. It's not a chat bot. It's not a deal finder. It's the layer that connects it all. So instead of finding deals, it's going to go out there to the AHJs and get those foreclosures, those evictions. We're going to be able to do mortgage rates with RCI systems. We'll actually be able to do EDI, early detection, so a lot of mortgage rates and stuff like Fred's doing in Alabama, which is interesting. There's a difference between like OpenAI and Anthropic have difference of opinion on scraping. You guys have mentioned if you put scraper or scraping into GPT, it gives you pushback. And it tries to get you not to do that. Anthropic had no problem with it. So it just depends on company philosophy. But instead of scraping, we're actually going to the AHJs because, like I said, like we showed last night, we showed several times, if you go to Arapahoe County, Colorado, or you go to Orange County, California, or Orange County, Florida, it doesn't matter what, they all have to have public records, right? And the public records also have that information, a lot more information than a list seller, a wholesaler, or prop tech like PropStream, Deal Machine, all that are going to have. They don't want to give you that information because they want to charge you a second time for skip tracing, like this PropWire. Hey, you got a subscription, you could use the free version, but the subscription is better. But then you can, for $119 a month, you can skip trace 10,000 records. So they want to hit, whereas now, you guys can go to those AHJs and you get those NEDs, those notice of election demands, the notice of default, the unlawful detainers for evictions. You get the actual documents that have the mortgage company. You have the mortgage, the principal balance. You know what the original loan was. You know what the interest rate percentage is. You know what the type of loan it is. You have the mortgage company's lawyer. You have their email, their contact information. So you guys think about skip tracing. What happens if you can't find the owner? Why not just go to the mortgage company and make an offer to them or their attorney? You have all the information to do that. And it's 100%. There's nothing wrong with that. Go to the lawyer, go to the mortgage company, and make an offer if you like that property. So you've got all that information. As we showed last night, if you bring back that information, you on-ramp it, which means just, you guys see my taskbar. I'll just come back and click back on it. And I'll put that, and right now, like I said, I'll train it. It's a little different in my personal one, but in my project, I'll come back. I'll have my buy box will be set up as my first project on that laptop when I show you guys it, and then I'll have my deal analysis tools the next one. So I'll come back and I'll put that NED in there, and I'll have it start processing it as a project. So it'll be on my screen because I'll open a project, so it'll be here, and it'll start processing that NED, going through all that data. Like last night, it'll show all the information on it, and then it'll compare it to your buy box. What you can do is you can also go and do the copy and paste just like this with your mouse, and you can bring over all 43 records like we saw last night in Jefferson County, Colorado. You put them into your buy box, you put them into your deal analysis tools. It's gonna review all those compared to your buy box, and it's actually gonna pull the information it's going to pull it from Zillow, Redfin, and all that, because there's all the public information on that property. So it's going to assemble it all in one place, and you can save it to a PDF. And it's made parse down that 43 properties. That list of 43, it might parse it down to 8 properties. And then you go to pulling your comps and your ARV, market reality assessment, skip tracing. You get down to like 2 properties, and those are the 2 that you want to. So then you get the information where you don't have to skip trace it. But now you can make the offer on those 2 properties. You're that much more efficient. You can do that in minutes. So it's kind of cool. So think about it. It's not a CRM. It's not a chatbot. It's not a deal finder. So everybody knows what the modes are. So the modes are in the first, when you guys, when it has my name on it, it says, the GPT itself. If you go to modes, it has resident mode, operator mode, rehab mode, lender mode, wholesaling mode, transaction coordinator, agent for real estate agents, mortgage people, learning mode, and default mode. Learning mode is awesome. Anybody can go in and learn any asset class. You can learn how to set up your buy box and everything. It'll guide you through everything. When you get done, just say return to default mode. But you can go through all these modes, and you guys, I encourage everybody just to go through and look at them over and see what they are, because those are the modes you're going to operate in to get a lot of information and to do a lot of your deals. You're building intelligence. You're building this over the first 30 days. The most work you're going to have is in your first 30 days. Modes is context switching. RCIC changes behavior based on the role, not the commands. So if you're not clear on your mode, RCIC can't help you. It'll just politely confuse you. So you want to basically learn the modes and how they work. And so what mode are you actually operating in right now? Most of everybody here I think, except for the wholesalers, if you're wholesaling, you're in wholesaling mode. If you're a lender, you'll be in lending mode. If you're working on rehab and stuff, you can work in rehab mode. Most everybody here is going to work in resident mode. Operators, when you start getting into large commercial, you're buying portfolios, you're buying 100-door apartment complexes. There's KPIs, there's audit trails. You can audit. You can put in. It'll actually go through and read like private placement memorandums and offer memorandums that have securities attorneys write. I have like 10. I think I have 10 PPMs over the years. Plus, I got all the Blue Sky stuff for these guys who heard about Blue Sky, which is a project Kevin and I were working on before COVID. And so we have over 12 documents that are probably together, probably 200 to 300 pages. And it can go through an operator mode, could go through in about 5 minutes and go through and it could build a whole new one in like 10 pages out of 300 pages. And it can make like a 10-page summary and like an executive summary. It's pretty cool that way. But that's operator will help you in larger deals, portfolios, and all that. So the capabilities are acquisition and opportunity intelligence, RCIC funnel, which is cool. It's not like a CRM, but you can ask for funnel. If anybody asks for funnel when you get in there and it gives you pushback, so let me know and I'll get you another bit link because it updates. But sometimes you can just hit refresh, up here, and you can sometimes refresh it and it'll have funnel and it'll walk you through that process. It's really cool. It's like having a CRM, but it actually is fully operational. So it's not just storing the data like most CRMs do. It's actually helping you operate, basically make decisions with it. You got your distress and vacancy signals. I put in vacancy intelligence, but this is where you're going to get all your signals. That's going to be your foreclosure. So you now, instead of thinking about leads or thinking about lists, now I think about signals, because these are signals. That's what you're going to get on this report. You deploy your agents through your plus down here through add files and more. You'll click on more. You'll go to agents, deploy your agents, and you can go out there and to your AHJs, use those market guides I made for you. Anytime you guys want a new market guide for new county, just enter it here, like add files, and tell it it's a market guide and you'd like to have it duplicated for the new county, and put the new county. And if you like specific zip codes, have it duplicated. You can do it, and you can do those counties as many times as you want. So I made those first couple for you, and now you can actually duplicate them just by doing that, following that. And you get skip tracing prompts. So this is how you find deals before they hit the herd. So that's your acquisition opportunity intelligence. Then you get into capital and funding. 1,383 lenders and funders. Guess what? That's over 2,200 now. When I did the same thing I did in GPT with Claude, it basically added like 903. So we got 2,200 altogether. And you guys I'll talk a little bit more about it when I built there, because it's actually kind of cool. And you have access to both of them. And I'll tell you, it's cool. You want to, and you guys, know you get it no matter what, because I told you, anything I build, you guys get. And actually, you don't even need a subscription to Claude, because I could actually just put it out there to the public and publish it. So instead, it's going to be in the RCICsystems.com website, which will be up this weekend, and people will be able to access. You guys will all get a code, basically a key code, a key to punch in, like a kind of like an offer codes or whatever, and then you guys can set up your login and you can log in there. It's kind of cool. And there's going to be their deal analyzers already there. Like I punched in all the lenders and stuff, so you'll have that. It's kind of cool. Imagine having 12 deal analyzers all in one place. And I'm putting a lot of the system. I'll talk a little bit more about how I built it after I get through this portion first. So you got your private money workflows, your capital request prep. And so most people don't have a deal problem, they have a capital positioning problem. Deal execution analysis, you got flip analysis, land plays, underwriting, rehab planning. So this is where bad decisions get caught early or not at all. And that's saying outside of this, your guys are going to catch a lot of the stuff. It's going to catch a lot of stuff for you and help you fix it. And almost everything you're going to see when we get to the website now, you're going to see red, yellow, light blue, and black, the 4 colors. So everything's color coded. Obviously, you get red. It's a different system. In some cases, it's like here in GPT, red, yellow, and green, just like a stoplight. You already know that red is no go. Or in the deal in RCIC deals, systems, you basically red is actually a go. It's a go deal. It's a good deal. So it's a different philosophy between the two different sites, but you guys will, it's still pretty cool. And yellows in both places, it helps you work on those deals. So you got your SOPs, your checklists, your state aware workflows. So this is what keeps your deals from dying in paperwork and chaos. Then you got sales and follow up. Use comms mode, and it's cool. We also got engage. So when I give you guys that list of the 7 GPTs that have the Bitly and that has a Chat GPT, engage is the second GPT you really want out of the 7 after core. Then you want capital passport. Those are really the top 3, and rehab scope engine, really the top 4 for most people in this group. And the engage will help with a lot of the communication. It'll help with SMS and text. It'll help with emails, write letters. Pretty cool. Then you get the education layer. After onboarding, you got your prompt training and live support. You got learning mode. So remember learning mode. Anytime you want to learn anything, asset class strategy, anything, how to set everything up, how to work RCIC, learning mode. It teaches you from nice, even. There's no ego. There's no guru overbearing. It's basically going to teach you at your pace at 2:00 in the morning. If you decide you want to pursue glamping, of all things, you can learn how to find luxury campground to buy. It's pretty cool, actually. We have somebody that's in the group that's not doing the AI, but joined the Reindeer one. We kind of changed between the associates going to Reindeer, which was real estate investors, networking, disposition, education, empowerment, resources, which is a lot of the people that are there's probably about 50 people, and probably about the first 120 or so came through the associates that started back in 2019 and 20, and then into RCIC, which is pretty much the AI. RCIC is pretty much just 100% the AI now, but that's kind of how that evolved. So how it all connects. So you got to choose a mode, the operator resident. You want to source your opportunity. What distress signal? You want to analyze the deal, prepare the capital request, the capital passport. You've also got, like I said, you've got lender mode to help you in core, or you can just, use the capital passport GPT. Execute and track transaction. It'll help you with all that, and your follow-up and exit. You can also hit transaction coordinator. You don't need to be a TC to actually use that. You can go in there and tell it you're an operator, and it'll help you, set up all your transaction coordination and management. And then you got build on top framework. So we can do custom branding, market specific modules, extensions, all the extensions, apps and extensions you guys know are over here and more. You can go to apps right there. There's a library. Library keeps all your stuff that you save, like all your visuals and stuff. Deep research, might as well say prepare to be there all day. Don't make any plans, because you can get into deep research and probably be there for 2 hours, and I've done it once or twice. Apps will go. That's where you can connect Gmail. You can connect, go high level. All the Google Suite stuff are there. All the Googles are there. Intuit, QuickBooks, Photoshop, Spotify. I don't know why anybody needs Uber Eats connected to their GPT, but it's there, just to let you guys know. And so is Grubhub. So it's like, hey, so you guys can build onto it. Build it your way. Start building it your way, and that's what I say. Get your own GPT. You can go to GPT here, and you can click on Explore GPTs, and there's a button for Create a GPT, and you can ask it to help you. You need a title, a description under 300 characters, 4 conversation starters, which are those 4 buttons that you guys see on the RCIC core one, and then 8,500 characters or less is your instructions. Then you have to choose what model you recommend, and you can choose a couple of choices, like whether it accepts the apps and things. And the key thing is you got 20 spaces, kind of like docs. You can doc up to 20 different PDFs, Excels, Words, whatever can doc there is like going to power it up. Like I've got almost all 7 GPTs have 20 now. I think there's only 2. I think Exchange only has about 10, and I think the other one is the campaign, which is kind of like if you're doing a campaign GPT, you're like trying to be an agency, trying to help other people, plan out some major, you're going out there, you're basically starting like your own version of New Western acquisition or Keegley, or somewhere. You're out there building, you're trying to do mass acquisition and mass disposition. So we get into this. If you're serious about building an ecosystem, if you're dabbling, this will feel like too much, but focus on what your area. Don't get overwhelmed. You guys are just wholesaling. You just keep it small. The best thing about this is you guys can contract and extract, expand at any time at your choice. If all of a sudden, you really are hitting all the marks and everything's going well, expand a little bit. Maybe, start looking at other options. Maybe instead of single family flips, add some rental properties or go ask some short-term rentals, things like that. Do the pad split, do the co-living, reach out to me and I'll connect you guys with the people like Scott that are doing it and stuff. And so you can also contract if you start getting overwhelmed, cut back on a county, tell it, hey, instead of 3 counties, check these 2 counties. Yeah, if you send out your agents to bring those reports back and you send their email and they put them on your canvas, the screen, remember the screen here is a canvas, that's what they call it. It'll actually tell you like what's going on. And I think I've showed you guys I've showed some of you on different Zooms where it'll say, hey, there's pressure in this zip code. So like in Colorado Springs, Colorado, 80916 and 80917 are next to each other, zip codes. 80917 and 80916 are completely different, even though they're zip codes. 80917 is very newer, a lot more. I don't know, most of the houses there are probably $1 million. 80916 is still kind of an older area. And if the properties there are $1 million, it's just because they have better, probably more acreage, more of a legacy kind of place. So they're entirely different zip codes. And because 80917 is newer, a lot of people have lived in the 80916 forever, so they have equity, things like that. 80917, they may not. So there's a lot more like foreclosures in 80917 than there are 80916. It'll tell you that. You can go through all the counties, it'll give you an update. I get my Colorado from Cheyenne to Pueblo, Cheyenne, Wyoming to Pueblo, Colorado. Every county there, it'll tell me that Denver counties, there's a lot of evictions going on. Obviously, Denver is the major city, the capital city. Aurora, Colorado, is split by Adams and Arapahoe County. The Arapahoe County side of Aurora, there's nothing really. It's really good. There's a lot of affluent areas. The Adams County side is pretty much worn. It's older. There's a lot of pressure there. There's a lot more foreclosures. A lot more evictions are there. So it'll actually tell you that once you guys have your agents deployed. It's kind of cool. So this is kind of a capability I made this morning. It kind of gets into branding. It'll do market modules and extensions, which you get from the apps. You got the different modes: resident, operator, lender, learning. I did put learning twice. I do leave those in sometimes, because sometimes you can't get the same visual if you try to have it redone. Operator, lender, agent, and default. Remember, always return to default. Anytime you're switching modes, put in switch mode, switch to lending mode, switch to operator mode. Deal and execution analysis, you got acquisition opportunity, capital, and funding. Okay, so what we've also done, and I'm going to just go to it real quick. Try to populate it real quick. So I've started messing, because obviously GPT, there's OpenAI, there's Anthropic. Anthropic has Claude. There were some of the reason was a lot of people they want to turn into RCIC, which you guys want, because you guys want more people because it compounds intelligence, as we talked about last night. Everybody that's on this Zoom right now, if you guys are in here working right now, we're not doing a Zoom, but you're working, everything you're doing is helping everybody else, even though they can't see it. So it's pretty cool that way. It compounds the intelligence. So you want more people. So my whole thing is I wanted to open RCIC to those people that are using Claude. So I said, well, I'm going to start I spent about a week with the free version, and I got the paid version. I started building. I basically have the advantage of saving everything, like we were talking about earlier, like when Curtis was talking about, let's save everything. So you can reintroduce it, or you can, remind it or have context. So I've saved everything. The beauty of it in this 1,500 hours, 1,500 over 1,500 hours that I've been working on GP, and consider that I wasn't doing RCIC like I am now until about August. And I was in this for this time last year. I was getting ready to build a website and hand everything to a Fiverr, somebody on Fiverr to build me 3 websites. It was going to take 3 websites. And I still probably only have about a third of what I have in the libraries and the databases. So I have the ability now to go and just put everything that they saved into Claude. And basically it fires right away. I mean, because it's already got the directions. So all those PDFs you guys are seeing, like the 13 chains, and you guys are seeing the skip tracing prompt and everything you're seeing, I'm able to actually build faster, which is cool. It's still limited because Claude and GPT, they're both $20 a month. GPT is unlimited. I could be on there and like probably as Curtis can probably tell you because he's probably on there now. You could be on GPT for hours and hours and hours and hours. You can only be on. You're limited in Claude, and literally I have to take a break for 2 or 3 hours. So I'll go work. I'll open in Claude, spend an hour and a half. When I get limited, I'll jump over and work on RCIC with GPT in here, and that'll be 2 or 3 hours. And I'll go back and I'll spend an hour and a half with Claude. We'll do the same thing. I'll try to hit Claude like 3 times a day. And so I'm building it faster, and I don't have. I might be able to show you guys, but I did post it on Facebook, and I do have it. I can send you guys the instructions, or not the instructions, but kind of the details on it. And I sent that to a few people like Amanda today and a few other people. It's going to be pretty cool. You guys will be able to start using RCIC systems. Everybody will be, because we'll have new people. You guys obviously know you don't have to pay anymore, but you'll have access to it. There'll be a key that I'll have probably next week, a key like a offer code. You guys will go punch that in and set up your login. So you'll actually be able to go in and use all the analyzers that are there. You can use them here. You'll be able to use them there. But I'm putting everything over the next couple of weeks, because it's going to take me almost to May, even though you can start using it next week. It's going to get more intelligent because I'm going to be pumping after it's built. I'm going to be pumping all this intelligence stuff that I've developed into it to power it up. One thing is RCIC has 1,383 lenders and funders. It actually has 2,200 over in Claude because it found 903 more in those databases, because I have 9 databases, or actually 11 databases, 19,000 lending and funding contacts. A lot of them are pension funds and endowment funds, fund of funds. You don't really need those because they don't do real estate at our level, but I have them. And so out of those, they found another 903 out of those that do real estate. So we got 2,200 in there. I'm going to try to get those 903 here. So it doesn't matter. You guys can go. You guys can use either one. Remember the GP. This is like your whole like supercomputer and do everything. But over there, you'll be able to jump over there and do deal analysis. It'll also be set up for distress intelligence. And think about it this way: you just basically double your power, and you won't have to. You don't have to get another system. You don't have to subscribe to Anthropic or Claude. You can basically, because I can put this out to the public, and they can have a login. I could make it free, which I'm not going to do because obviously so it's going to be live this weekend, and I'll give everybody an update like probably Sunday that, hey, it's live and here's how to get your key so you can go there and set up your login. It's pretty cool. And then obviously since we're going to be charged, it's going to be a lot, there's a couple monthly plans for people, and one starts at like $497 a month. And you guys heard me, I'm not really 100% for that. But on the other hand, this is a business now. So, I have a business like all of you guys have a business. So there's going to be a couple monthly plans, and there's also going to be a couple lifetime plans. If you guys get into anybody's lifetime plan, you guys will get a commission on it. And the first one will start at $400 commission. So everybody's $1 in the black. You pay $399 to get in this, you'll be $1 in the black. The next 3, I'll do 200, 200, 200. So it's 1,000 on 4. Then it changes over. So you get 1,000 for every 4 people you refer over that join that. But it's going to be pretty substantial. It's pretty cool. You guys will benefit. But like I said, what it's showing me here, there's some things that it's giving me pushback on. Whereas Anthropic, like I was saying earlier, with some of the differences like between scraping, it doesn't like it here. So it's talking about over here, it wants me to add some things. You guys talk about like when it pushes people to do like Notion or Airtable, which I love. There's some that it pushes you, Slack and stuff. So in order to do it over here, I've got to add a lot of stuff that I've got to go pay for to do API. Like over here, it really is to do anything like that, I have to get API. There's things over there I could get API for, but what I've built to start with, I don't need any API for. So it's cool. So it's able to be fully functional by Sunday. And then by the end of the month, it'll be incredibly powerful. So that's kind of why I'm not building it here. Like it just happens to be like an evolution. Like I didn't plan to build RCIC this way. a year ago, and I did. So it's kind of like I didn't plan to, go. Claude's pretty incredible. If you guys see those visuals that I posted today, go look at my personal Facebook page, and you'll see what I kind. And I think I'll post them again also in the RCIC group. There's actually going to be a map, and you guys can set pins up. It's something else that they cannot do here. Let me get down to where it's talking about that. So yeah, you'll be able to do this. So it's talking on here. Some of this is getting back to me on what it can and cannot do. So another thing, guys, they also want to do is anybody wants to participate in the next week as well on this side, on the GPT side. They're looking to put some real deal examples in. So if anybody has some real deal examples, we can make one up, a realistic. Then we're able to do everything here, but that map that you guys see kind of. And Amanda, you asked me about that. I just have to put a key in there that I get from that company, and you guys will have an access to a map on the Claude version where you guys can pins, kind of like if you saw Bill Danagel that night when he was showing PropWire. It's kind of cool. You'll be able to pin things, and you'll be able to actually pull up a whole block, a whole area around a property, put in the address, and it'll start popping up, populating, just like you see like Zillow and all them do. It'll start populating with pins where you can start getting like the comps and stuff. So think about how incredible that is. So it's going to be awesome. Like I said, this goes into why there's some reasons why it can't really. And I brought over that information from Claude back in here. Because I'm hesitating, I don't know. I told GPT I'm building something in Claude or vice versa. But yeah, so I had to go over and it's pretty cool. It's called UA and all this. I got the map and the deal view. And then, so in order to put the map and stuff in here, I got to have an API on the GPT side. So it's kind of cool. So, I mean, it's like, it's really, let me see if I can show one, if I can open one. Let's see real quick. If I can bring it up. Let me see if it'll actually, can you show this? Let's see if it'll open and show it. All right. So this has the HTML. So it's a standalone web app. And so it's obviously, and it says Anthropic, matching log, you can format. And so it's talking about, you can see it, the UI clean. It's supposed to be a visual, guys, but this just has the, and you guys can see what I posted on Facebook already. You can see what these look like. There's one for Capital Passport. There's one, we have 12 for different deal analyzers. I'm putting them in from lenders and wholesalers as well. So there'll be a total of about 16 deal analyzers that are all pretty cool. And then there's the map and all that stuff, so you guys can do a lot of stuff with it. So it's kind of cool just to kind of show you guys what's going on there. So you guys got any questions on this? Otherwise, like I said, I'm planning to have it fully operational by Sunday. And then you guys will have go out there and try it out for a week or so while I put in all the I'm going to be putting all the intelligence over the rest of the month of April. So we'll try to do a pre-sale. If you guys want to help promote, like I said, I'll pay you. So when you bring people in and they join, I'll throw you money. So, but ideally everything helps with everybody. So okay, I'm processing the Zoom. If anybody has any questions or anything, I'm going to basically get the YouTube stuff together. Then we're going to check out for the night. You guys have ever seen me do this before? You can actually make all your marketing, all your visuals, all your for Facebook, Instagram, X, Reddit, Substack, Medium. If you guys have not been to agentsgather.com yet, agentsgather.com, especially if you're newer. I think Coleman and I don't think I've told you or Nick or LaDon, but agentsgather.com is awesome. And my friend Danny built it. Those of you, some people here have seen it. It's incredible. And there is a free subscription to agentsgather.com if anybody wants it. If anybody's like really, I'm trying not to get people to, I'm trying to get people to actually cancel subscriptions, but if anybody wants to get, if you get a good one over there, Danny can set you up as a blogger writing for his, and you basically get a lot of promotion. Go Google Agents Gather, and you guys will see just how much Danny's a guru in a good way on SEO. You will get your name out there at your blog. He has a couple of different subscriptions for that. He also has the property listing service, $75 a year, unlimited. You can put all the properties in there, and once you put them in there, it gets all SEO'd. So you're getting your property links out there in the proper places. So if you're in Savannah, Georgia, you can get your property out there. Just a suggestion, but if any, Danny's he's a good friend of mine. He lives in my town. He's a realtor here. So he built a really cool website. Title suggestions. A description with tags. And a thumbnail. Always, when you do a thumbnail for YouTube, if you ever do YouTube, make sure they're under 2.0 megabytes. So I always put 1.99 just to make sure. Check the thumbnail for typos. So like I was saying, RCICsystems.com will be up next week. I'll also we have 5 emails, so we won't activate them all at one time, but I'll have a company email will be going there, as well as my personal one. I'll be actually we probably won't be renewing privatemoneyauthority.com. I'll probably put that up for auction. At the end, I have to renew that by September. So we will go to rcicsystems.com for our domain and all our emails. So you guys will have all that information. And like I said, I could put that whole thing out for free, so I could publish it right away. So you guys will get your keys and your logins. And so it's just amazing what it is able to do for us there. Whereas here I'd have to get a lot of API and stuff like that. So like I said, anything that I ever build, you guys get, so don't have to worry. You don't even have to pay for Anthropic. You just keep your open AI and you're good, because over there anybody can log in if they have anybody from the public that can log in once they online. Okay, change that to 2026. And change from well, a few times this comes up. So what happens? Here's what happens if it doesn't. I can't get it to fix it. I will go to Lunapic, lunapic.com, and I'll use. There's a feature there where I can go there and I can actually just write something over it, like, hey, So I usually write like a message or something like. I don't like to mess with this because these things actually are SEO'd up. These are compressed the right way for YouTube, so they help with YouTube. Even though I'm not trying to monetize it, you guys can tell that I get like 20, 25 views. Most of the people in our group, they go over there and watch the videos and stuff. There, I fixed it. Cool. You guys know that so OpenAI is going to be doing their IPO probably at the end of the year, and they're probably going to be $1 trillion. That's probably what their value of the company is going to be. Okay. Title. And hashtags. YT. It knows that YT's YouTube, FB's Facebook, IG's Instagram, X's Twitter. It knows all that. So it gives. I asked now for title suggestions. This is I'm not going to actually build it tonight because it's got a process on the Zoom. I'll choose this in the morning, but it gives me. I asked for different suggestions, so it'll tell you what it thinks. So it's kind of cool. So I'll have this up. I'll have this up, and I'll have this to you guys to everyone at 8:30 in the morning. It'll be posted publicly as well as in the two groups. That's pretty much it for tonight, unless somebody has any questions. I know went a little bit fast, but and I'll also generate a guide on how to use RCIC systems and kind of an orientation. So, does anybody have any questions? If not, I will talk to you over there. So, got a one-on-one tomorrow. Looks like I'll have one on Monday. If anybody wants any, hit me up next week. I have some openings on Wednesday afternoon and Friday afternoon next week. If anybody wants to schedule a one-on-one, and then any other time if you guys request it, I can try to make it work. Okay, cool.
When does that go live on YouTube?
With what?
When does that go live on YouTube?
I'll process it about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning my time, so
Okay.
It should be up by 8:30.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for tonight.
Yeah, there's like almost 65 videos in that playlist. I always put a playlist on the video, so you can go back and start. Actually, if you really want to, you can go back to 2022 and see how horrible I was back then. I leave them up there. People are like, you should really take those down. There's actually a short on there I did for my hometown Evergreen, and I did it during COVID. And I was walking around. I went to the high school. It was during, obviously the school was closed because of COVID, showing how dead my town was. Then I redid it in September because we had the school shooting on September 10th at my high school that I went to, that Danny's daughter goes to. And so I actually remade the video. It was kind of cool. Then I had to deal with YouTube because they wanted to take it down because there was music in it. And then they contacted the person that owned the music rights, and under the circumstances, because I'm not trying to monetize it, and I was they let it stay up. So I was like, thank God. So anybody, you guys can see my town. I made a little YouTube short. It's pretty cool. Try to make one of those. All right, I'll see everybody. Let me know when you want one-on-ones. If you guys need guidance, I need some real deals to test. So after this goes live on Sunday, if you guys want to test some real deals, both on the GPT side and the Claude side, we can test them and see which we can. They're awesome on GPT side. We already know that, but we can test them on Claude. And remember, guys, you guys are getting $400 on your first person if they come over and join on a lifetime plan over there. And so that's then you're $1 in the black. Cool.
Hey Nate, does this thing have gap funders?
Yeah, it has some, but you have to ask in lending mode. Capital Passport, that GPT has more of that. Yeah, you can ask for gap funders. There are some that I put in there. I had to put them in manual, not part of the databases.
Okay, cool.
And then there are some in the Facebook group. The associates group, you've probably been in the longest out of everybody that's here. The associates group has actual Michael Conklin is in there. I can hook you up with him. There's a few other people there that do that are actually people that paid to be in our group that do Gap and EMD.
Okay, so, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, don't be afraid to post in there and ask for, hey, I'm looking for Gap for this, and then CC me on it. Say, and then we'll see it. Then if you do that, then I see it. Then I can actually start tagging people that I know, because some people like Michael one time told me I had $300,000 to deploy, and so I knew that. So I was I was trying to get people to hit him up and go, hey, talk to Michael because he's in the group. He joined for that reason. He wanted a more dedicated group of, he wanted to basically loan money to the same people over and over again. So cool. Yeah, I can, if you're looking for Gap, post it in the group too, like I said. All right, I'm stopping recording.